Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial. And today, we're going to answer a relatively commonly asked question. And the question is, why are some battleships, some ships in particular, really attractive looking and others aren't? Like, what are the features that are aesthetically pleasing about some battleships in particular? So first off, Iowa-class battleships are among the most aesthetically pleasing battleships ever built. There's a number of features that help them achieve this ranking. I've seen a number of polls and other things online on Facebook and these various sources and whatnot, which ones are the best looking. And the Iowas are always up there. And typically other last generation battleships like Bismarck, like Yamato, like the Littorios, they're always there. Richelieu and any British battleships? No, those Queen Anne's Mansion type superstructures do not qualify. So what is it that makes these ships look so good? The most important factor, I would say, is the length to beam ratio. A really long ship that's narrow just looks sleek. Looks fast. It's like the sports car of the naval world. So by empirical formula, we know that a length to beam ratio of roughly 8.5 or 8.6 to 1 is like the ideal for hydrodynamic efficiency on a large ship. And also, that is what looks really good. You start to lengthen it more than that, and they look really weird. You compress them shorter than that and they look tubby. So a good length to beam ratio, and this again is a common feature that's shared by ships like Yamato, Bismarck, the Iowa class. That they are long, they're designed for relatively high speeds, and they are comparatively narrow. The next aesthetic is height. German ships are always up there when you talk about which ones are the best looking. And that is largely because German ships are designed to be lower to the water, so they have less area to armor. Typically, a ship that is about 2 decks high above the waterline, maybe 2.5 decks, is the ideal. If you get above that on ships like, say, British World War I era battle cruisers, like Tiger and Lion and those sorts of ships, British ships were designed to be taller so that they had better crew accommodations for sailing around the world. But that extra height kind of detracts from their attractivenesses. So ships like Bismarck and Hood that are really low to the water look nice. And again, you can go too far. You get to a monitor where you're just at water level or maybe 1 deck above water, and that doesn't look good anymore. So around 2.5 decks above water, around a length to beam ratio of 8.6 long to about 1 wide. Those are really attractive. Next up, of course, is curves. Right angles don't look nearly as good as curves. And I think that's where the Iowa-class battleships really excel. That absolutely unique and iconic bow with that bow curve is so much better than the say, straight bows of earlier ships, where the deck comes in and then a right angle comes down. It also looks better when the ship is, the hull in particular is leaning forward. It looks like a fast ship cutting through the water. So when you've got the bow angled forward, that tends to look better than older battleships where the bow was angled back. I'm talking about ships like early dreadnoughts, even Arizona is probably one that you recognize. So the bow of the ship looks better when it's leaning forward like a runner on the starting line. The superstructure of the ship and the masts and things like that look better when they're leaned aft. It looks like they're straining against the speed of the ship, and it's causing them to push backwards. So that, again, is an indicator of a fast ship, and that's something that we find aesthetically pleasing. Another feature that is important is not being bulky, particularly in the superstructure, but the hull as well. A ship that has a really full hull form looks really bulky. A ship like many British ships with the Queen Anne's Mansions have these big, bulky superstructures like King George V, Vanguard, ships like that. Whereas the more aesthetically pleasing ships, again, your Iowas, your Bismarcks, they have a relatively narrow superstructure. That tallest part of the superstructure looks really good when it's forming a pyramid, a nice balanced design. So, for example, Bismarck takes the cake on this. Her superstructure is just forward of amidships, the tallest part of it, and then it comes to a really great even curve. As it comes down from the superstructure, you've got the forward bridge a little bit lower, you've got the smokestack a little bit lower. It comes down to the rest of the superstructure, and then the super firing turrets, the regular turrets, the main deck. It forms this really excellent pyramid type structure. Iowa-class battleships come close, having a second funnel sort of stretches that out, but they're relatively balanced. There is about as much room between the forward turret and the bow of the ship as there is between the aft turret and the stern of the ship. And there is a good amount of flat space there, so the ship, again, curves down from its highest point, just forward of amidships. You start to put that too far back, and it looks weird. It looks like the ship is slouching backwards. You put it too far forward, and again, it looks weird. It looks like there's too much weight at the bow of the ship. But just forward of amidships tends to be the most aesthetically pleasing. And again, coming up into a narrow tower, not something blocky and wide, is really key here. Much like with the Vitruvian Man, mathematical ratios can prove what is the most balanced and therefore the most visually appealing, the most aesthetically good looking. And so that's what we've been talking about primarily here. Other features are very much up to taste. What does your favorite ship look like? Those are things like the color of ship. Most battleships are painted gray. However, every country has a different shade of gray. And the countries that your nation typically associates with the aggressors look evil just because of how you've been raised, how you think about it. So that's more of a subjective thing. So for me, the darker gray of German ships looks evil. The greener gray of Japanese ships looks like the bad guy. Whereas this kind of blue gray that you see on American ships, the haze gray that I grew up with my whole life, is what I find the most visually appealing. Now, someone from another country could very easily say the opposite, that greener gray color that you see on Japanese ships is much more visually appealing, and this weird faded gray on American ships is not as ugly. So there is still an amount of this process that is very much up to personal preference. That's partially why it looks weird when you put, say, German Baltic camouflage schemes on an American ship, the so-called zebra stripes. It looks good on a German ship. You put it on an American ship and you're like, that doesn't look right. Because of this conditioning that we've had, that is a German scheme, it looks good on German ships that have these key German features. That particular type of raked funnel cone and that type of armament layout, the angles on the gun turrets that they tend to have. Whereas it does not look good on a ship that has the typically American characteristics. So, my question for you today is, what battleship do you find the most visually appealing? Is it an Iowa-class battleship? Do you like your battleships to have a nice thick aft? Or do you like one that's a little bit slimmer, like Bismarck tapers from the waist? Let us know in the comment section down below which features you find the most appealing and which battleship you find the most appealing. I'm certainly a fan of the Iowa class, but you know, I've always loved a Lexington class battle cruiser. I like that classic look. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State, also from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. We really appreciate your support. There's a link in the description below for ways you can donate to support the museum. You can also support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing so more people find about us and the channel. Thanks for watching.